You don't need to homeschool. Hi, I am Rachel from 7 in All. I'm a second-generation homeschool mom to 3. And because my niche here on YouTube is homeschool, I'm a homeschool influencer, I feel like a lot of people think that my message is going to be that everybody should homeschool. And that's simply not my message. I do not see myself as being here on YouTube trying to persuade people to homeschool. You don't need to homeschool. If you are going to homeschool, I think you should do a very good job of it. And that is much more my message. My message is one of encouraging people to become skillful homeschoolers, not just saying that everybody blanket statement should homeschool. So if homeschool is not right for you, for your family, for your children, for this season in life, I am here to say you don't need to homeschool. You don't need to homeschool in order to have a positive impact on your child's education. This seems to be a pretty widely known fact and yet still misunderstood or misapplied. And it's the fact that parental involvement plays a crucial role in the education of children. And this is true regardless of what type of school they go to, public, private, Montessori, university, whatever. Parental involvement in your child's education. Whatever school your children are going to, whatever school you choose, that choice does not negate your role and the impact that you can have in your child's education. So even if you don't homeschool, even if you're sending your children to school, you as a parent need to understand that you still have a key role in your child's education, and your relationship with them, your choices that you make along the way will have a lasting impact in their education. So in this video, I wanted to talk about what if you don't homeschool? What if you don't homeschool? How can you as a parent make that crucial impact? How can you impact your child's education for good? There are 3 key practices that I think all parents should implement even if they don't homeschool. Of course, even if you do homeschool, you can still do these practices. They're good practices regardless, but these 3 practices I believe have the power to produce immense fruit in your child's educational journey. And the number 1 is read to your kids. Have books for your kids. Have books around your home. Read to your kids. And I feel like you're probably gonna roll your eyes at me right now because you're like, duh, I've heard that a million times. Everybody says read to kids. But the thing is, everybody says it because it is true. Besides being a homeschooler, I am also an educator. I have many years of experience of working with children with different educational needs. And the difference between a child who is read to and a child who is never read to, a child who has no books in the home, is stark. And as an educator, it can feel incredibly overwhelming to even figure out how to bridge that gap, how to bridge the gap of missing vocabulary, of missing words, of missing ideas, of basic background common knowledge that children don't have when they aren't exposed to stories. Reading to kids is crucial. And no, reading to kids is not only for the rich. Yes, books can be expensive, but books can also be very cheap. Sure, maybe you can't find the best books. I didn't say it had to be the best books. Better books are nicer, sure, but there can be cheap books and you can just read those cheap books or the books that are available. When I was growing up, I was a voracious reader. We didn't necessarily have that many books when I was very, very young. It took time for my parents to build their library. But there was this 300-page book called the Tightwad Gazette that I read probably about 25 times when I was around 7 to 8. It was just a book all about ways to save money, ways to make your stuff last longer or reuse things so that you didn't have to spend more money. I'm not saying that was the best reading material for a 3-year-old, but I learned a lot. And to this day, I'm kind of a cheapskate, so maybe that was a bad thing in retrospect. But it's on you to find a way to read to your kids. Stop making excuses and find a way to make it happen, because the impact is incredible for building the words that they need to understand the world around them. Start when they're babies, continue past the age when they can read to themselves, continue as long as you can, read to and with your kids. The second practice is summed up in a slogan my family uses, which is take someone with you. Whatever you're going to do, try as much as possible not to do that thing alone, whatever useful thing of life. This could be going to the mechanic, going to the doctor, going to the bank, going to the grocery store, or it could be in your house, digging a hole, mending the fence, fixing the toilet, fixing the kitchen sink. There's a lot of plumbing fixes involved in life, so there's probably a lot of opportunities there. Cleaning out the refrigerator, making the bed, stripping the beds, hanging up the laundry on the line. Whatever you're doing, when it's possible, it's not always 100% possible, but a lot of times it is possible. Take somebody with you. There's an incredible amount of learning, an incredible amount of connection when we choose not to go through life alone, when we choose to do the work of life with somebody. So what taking someone with me for right now looks like, when I'm going into the kitchen to start prepping dinner, I'll call my boys and say, hey guys, start peeling the vegetables, start chopping up the vegetables. So it's not just mama alone in the kitchen doing the kitchen work and keeping all this generational knowledge of preparing meals to myself. No, I am passing this generational knowledge on to my kids. This isn't a chore or a responsibility. This is just taking my kids with me into the work of life. And yes, I know when your kids attend school, this can be harder because your kids are gone for so much of the day and so much of the week. So yes, for sure, it can be harder to take them with you into some of the work of life, the errands of life, the skills of life. You might have to be a little more creative and really take use of all those opportunities, but there will be opportunities, take them. My dad, a couple months ago, he had to change an air filter on his car. He waited until we brought the grandkids over so that they could be with him to lift the lid of the car and get inside and look at all the different parts of the engine and change the air filter. Did he need to wait for his grandkids to be around? No. But that is that philosophy of take someone with you. This is the impact we can have on teaching our kids about the world we live in and just the general knowledge that they need, equipping them. And the third practice, I want to say, I'll summarize it as dinner table discussions, although it does not have to take place at the dinner table. But this is the practice of showing interest in what your child is learning throughout their educational career. And no, this does not just look like checking in on their report cards at the end of the semester or waiting till a teacher emails you about a failing grade to step in. No, this means that all along the journey, there are check-ins. You're making it part of your family culture to discuss what you're learning together. This isn't just one-sided. This isn't just you as a parent saying, hey, what did you learn in school? And them saying covalent bonds. No, this is back and forth discussion. Yes, there will be asking, hey, what did you learn about in school? And you can be responding to their answers with your own experiences, with your own memories, or with your own facts that you know about that same topic or something that you found interesting about it. Show them that through this conversation, that education is not just something forced upon them, it's not just information stuffed into their mind, but education is something lifelong, and it's something that you're constantly engaging with and playing around with ideas as you're discussing different ideas and different people are giving input on different ideas. Work to develop this family culture where, hey, we talk about what we learn about. You yourself, whatever book you're reading, you can be sharing with your kids about, hey, I learned this interesting fact in this Bill Bryson book I was reading. And your kids can be sharing about what they are learning in school, the projects and ideas. You know, if they get an assignment, they can discuss different options for their project with you. Make that part of your family culture and you will see an incredible impact over years of these dinner table discussions. So no, you don't have to homeschool. Homeschool has been a great choice and a gift to my family, but it is not right for all families. However, I do believe that all parents should make use of their right and their responsibility to positively impact their child's education. And these are the 3 key practices. Read to your kids, take someone with you, and dinner table discussions. Implement these practices and you will see impact. All right, until next time for more nerdy homeschool conversations. I'll see you. Bye.